Welcome to the Prophecy Club. We're going to be continuing the program from yesterday. The topic is the Antichrist's elaborate plan to deceive all humans. This is part 2. Now, before we get into it, I need to back up and do a little bit of explaining. Now, here's the way we prophecy students want God to work, okay? We want to tell God how to do his business, me included, okay? We want God to just tell us what's coming, boom. And then when he tells us, it happens. That's what we want. We want to know what's going on. The problem is God does not cooperate with that. He gives us hints. We have to see through a glass darkly. You might say it's smoke and mirrors sometimes. It's very difficult. It's difficult to know which one of these people out here that say that they're hearing from God is really hearing from God, and that's one of my calls. Now, you need to explain, or you need to understand the difference between a watchman and a prophet. Okay, let me take it right to the scriptures, because, okay, what I'm getting at is, yes, according to what Vicky Parnell said, and according to what Benjamin Fulford said, I had two people that said that on February the 24th, during the Lantern Festival, that's when China would attack Taiwan. Now, that's what we expected. Hang on. There's more to it, which I'll explain. But you have to understand, I did what I was supposed to do. Now, let me explain. So Ezekiel 33:6, you can read it here, says, if the watchman see the sword come. Now, did I see a sword come? I've got two people, Vicky Parnell and also Benjamin Fulford, that both say on the Feast of Lanterns, which is on February 24th of 2024, that's when China's going to invade Taiwan. In so many words, that's what they said. So was I correct? Absolutely. I saw a sword coming. It was my duty to warn you. Let me go on. If the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. Now, what's that saying? It's saying that the watchman had better blow the trumpet. He better warn them. I'm a watchman. And if you're watching this, you're probably a watchman too. Now, let me explain the difference between a prophet. So, Deuteronomy 18:21. Now, you have to understand this is Old Testament. This says, under Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. This is the Torah. And if thou shalt say in thine heart, how shall we know how shall we know the word which the Lord hath not spoken? When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, and the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken. But the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, and thou shalt not be afraid of him. In other words, don't listen to him. Didn't say stone him, said don't listen to him. Now, there's more. Next question. Does every word that every prophet, every word from God have to come to pass? The answer is no, it doesn't. Now, wait a minute. Okay, remember the story. Okay, so God told Jonah to go down to the great city. Here's the scriptures. And I want you to go down and prophesy against them and tell them that there's just too much evil there. Jonah didn't want to do it. So he took a little fishing trip, got swallowed by a fish, burped out onto the sand. He got a different point of view. Decided, okay, I'll go tell him. Now, when he got the second message, this time God added something to it. He says, Jonah was told that in 40 days, Nineveh would be overthrown. Did that happen? No, that didn't happen. But why didn't it happen? And this is the point we got to get across. I know God didn't play by our rules. He plays by his rules. And he is not obligated to see that everything he says comes to pass. Wait a minute, Stan, are you saying God is a liar? No, I'm saying his objective is not to prove he can see the future. His objective is not to prove that this person is a prophet hearing from him. His objective is to win souls. Here's the case in point. Okay, so the people of Nineveh believed God, proclaimed a fast, put on the sackcloth from the greatest even to the least of them, and the king took off his kingly robes, put on sackcloth and ashes, and sat in ashes. That wasn't the end of it. He also called for a fast of all people and all animals. Now, that's what God wanted. He didn't want to prove that Jonah was hearing from him. He didn't want to prove that he could see the future. What he was trying to do is get people to turn around. That's what he did. Now, is God willing to sacrifice the reputation of Jonah or any other prophet to get people to repent? You better know that he will. So, let's take Vicky Parnell, or let's take Benjamin Fulford. Could it be that they really did hear from God? Could be. Could it be that he sacrificed them on the altar of getting people to repent? Could be. I don't know. I can just tell you, I did what I was supposed to do. I had 2 witnesses. So anyway, he says, you can read the rest of it. Let me get the point. Deuteronomy 19:15 says, at the mouth of 2 witnesses or at the mouth of 3 witnesses shall a matter be established. I had Vicky Parnell, I had Benjamin Fulford, both saying it was going to happen on the Feast of Lanterns, which is February 24th, 2024. So did I do my job? Absolutely. Is it possible that you'll hear from God, you'll deliver a message, and they repent, and you get egg on your face? Yep. As a matter of fact, it might be 2 eggs. It might be scrambled. It might be sunny side up. It might be 4 eggs. But if he can win a soul, he'll sacrifice you on the altar of credibility. And if you can't handle that, then you're not going to be a watchman long. God, his number one objective, he doesn't have to prove he can see the future. He doesn't have to prove his prophets. His objective is to win souls. And if he can do that, and with a warning, you better know he will do it. All right, now, to Vicky and Benjamin credit, here's a couple of articles. This one goes on to say, the Chinese president is reported by Western intelligence agencies. Now, the problem is, he didn't tell who those Western intelligence agencies are. I think that this is not credible. This guy does not give sources. He does not have a second witness. He just comes on, and I'm not beating him up. I mean, he's got a whole lot more subscribers than I do. So he says, officially launched what they're calling a covert operation to take Taiwan. So could it be that what Vicky and what Benjamin said was actually true? Could be. Goes on to say this happened since the Chinese New Year on February 10th, and it has been codenamed Dang Wei. And he says he probably didn't pronounce that correctly. But they're saying that it's going to be in full force by the month of November 2024. Whoa, now wait a minute. So, maybe they didn't miss. Maybe they did what God wanted. Okay, and there's another one. So this comes from Reuters, of course, owned and controlled by the Molochs. China Coast Guard boarded Taiwanese boat near Frontline Islands, Taiwan says. So there have been some scraps in the area. Scrapping's going on, we'll say it that way. Another article, U.S. and Japan stage military drill with eye on China. So there is some problems going out there. Now, let's go back to continuing with the program yesterday. So what we're doing is we've started making some, not all, probably 2 or 3 programs a month called Prophecy Club Unfiltered, because I have to say some things that platforms will not allow. So here's what we've done. It's still free. It still doesn't cost. Matter of fact, it's maybe better quality. So here's what happened. When I make one that is unfiltered, if you're on our email list, we'll send you an email, let you know that it's unfiltered. And hopefully I can put a little blurb up on the platform saying it's out there. Here's how you get to it. You go to prophecyclub.com. You click right here on this special button we just put up. It will take you over to this page. Then you slide to the bottom. It will look like this for yesterday's program, and it'll have a part 2 on it by the time we post tomorrow's program. Still free. Just click on it. Go there and click, and that's where I'm going right now to make that one. Let me talk about our 3 sponsors briefly. First, if you want to get gold or silver, we're going to send you to 800-200 gold or prophecyclubgold.com. prophecyclubgold.com. Second, if you want to get long-term emergency food, the only place I would send you to is josephskitchen.com. It is what I believe is God's long-term storage food. As you recall, Pharaoh and Joseph, what fed the world for 7 years was wheat. Most of your long-term storage places, $9,000 to $10,000 to feed one person for 1 year. Joseph's Kitchen can show you how to do it for about $1,000, one person, 1 year. And EMP Shield. If you want your car to start, if you want your computers to start after some kind of nuclear event, that's the device to get. And if you go to empshield.com and use the promo code PROPHECY, get your $50 discount and helps your Prophecy Club.